everybody, welcome to another video, and just to hop right in, today I'm going to be talking about Class of '09. I've got my notes set up, we're ready to go. I would like to tell everybody that Class of '09 is a generally graphic game, so if you're uncomfortable with that, please leave the video. If you haven't seen it or seen a gameplay of this game, please go watch it, go play it. It's a great game, and if you have the stomach for it, it's nice. Now, Class of '09 was released in June 10th of 2021. It is a video game with many different paths and many different characters, and as you're going down these different story paths, you get different endings. So I'm just going to be covering the main plot points and the big moments that occur in the series. To preface, I'm just going to be covering the first video game. I'm just going to be covering Game 1, which is the original Class of '09. I'm not going to be covering Class of '09 the re-up or Class of '09 the flip side. I may in future videos, but depending on how this video goes, we'll just have to wait and see. So, let's first start off by getting to know our character Nicole a bit better. Her mom is a bit of a whore, to put it lightly. She jumps around and marries a bunch of different men, then after divorcing them, moves Nicole and her brother into an entirely different state, and she's hopping all around America. Now, her brother is, to put it lightly, he is fond of cheese pizza, which I hate this character so much. I hope he burns in hell. But he's crusty, he's gross, I hate him. That's really the only thing about his character, is that he's a gamer and he likes horrible music and he's a child liker. So, fuck him. I'm gonna put up a picture. Fuck him. Anyways, now with Nicole, she's constantly moving around because of her mom's many ex-husbands and her habits with men. And in the very beginning of the game, she's a self-described sociopath, which definitely shows throughout the game. I also forgot to mention that we don't get to see the dad in the game, but we see him at the very beginning, just a little bit. He committed self-die. So, there's nothing more to his character than that. He just committed self-die. No dad, L. I'm sorry. Anyways. Let's just hop into the main plot points, and I'm sorry if this isn't very clear. I'm gonna be going over just a few different points, and we'll talk about the endings that they lead to, and then at the very end, I'll give a little bit of an analysis on how this relates to real life. So, as you know, Nicole moves to a new school in the very beginning of the game, and she makes friends with Jekka. She meets a bunch of different people. She's going around and she's experiencing this school. My window's open and a fly just got into my room. I'm sorry. But she moves to this new school and she very quickly discovers the predatory and perverted nature of this school. To go down the list, we have Coach Colby, a PDF file gym teacher who tries to flirt with Nicole. Now, Coach Colby, in one ending, kills Nicole after she agrees to go home with him, which kind of went as expected. I hate his character. Hate him so much. There's a lot of characters I either really hate or really love, and you'll get to see that. But Coach Colby ends up offing Nicole after she agrees to date him. The counselor, and I want to say again that these are full grown-ass men. The counselor makes advances at Nicole, and depending on what path you choose in the game, you can either accept or deny these advances. Same with Coach Colby. And when Nicole accepts these advances, the counselor gets caught because the school bake sale is that day as they're walking out to his car to be intimate. Anyways, there's also a couple students that Nicole has problems with. There are a few other ones, but in this game specifically, our main two problems are Kyler and Jeffrey. Now, Kyler makes advances at Nicole, and depending on whether she accepts or denies his advances, you end up going to his house and hanging out with him. You have a short time where you're talking about lacrosse, music, other kids at school. It's kind of just a little gossip session. But at the end of that, he asks Nicole to be his girlfriend, and Nicole says no. But as he is persistent, she challenges him to impress her, and in his mind, he decides it's the perfect idea to jump off the roof of the school, and he dies. Now, he comes back later, and we just ignore that this ever happened, really, but it's noteworthy. And then another one of our problem students, Jeffrey, we find out after talking to Jeffrey in gym class that he has some very unique sexual interests, to say the least. And Nicole, after hearing about this, decides to tell everyone in the school and spread this rumor far and wide about his interests. I don't know how much I can say on YouTube, but his interests. And sad to say, in one ending, Jeffrey decides to go Columbine on the school, to put it lightly. I can't directly describe the actions he made because I don't think that's appropriate for YouTube, but I'm sure you got the main idea. Now, another main point is Nicole decides to finally stop skipping class and go to a photography class, where the photography teacher asks her to meet him in the dark room. Now, due to our Coach Colby situation and our counselor situation where Nicole has been frequently hit on by elderly men, or older men, we are going into this completely expecting him to make a sexual advance. But he instead decides to do something maybe equally as troubling. Definitely equally as troubling. He is a white nationalist, and he begins to recruit students for a movement of sorts. He eventually, in one ending, recruits all of the students in the school except for Nicole, because she is seeing past him, seeing past his wall of lies, and he is able to convince all these students to commit hate crimes with him, and that is how that chapter ends. Most of the students end up arrested, and in one ending, he ends up dead. So, serves him right, anyways. Another main point is, again, our problematic character, Jeffrey, takes a shirtless photo of Nicole while she is changing in the girls' locker room. Now, this is a huge problem, not only for the obvious reasons, but, yeah, for the obvious reasons, it's a huge problem. And he takes this on medium format film, which is a film type that needs to be developed in a photo lab, as mentioned before in the photography teacher section. And so after Kyler, the guy who jumped off the roof, he's back. After Kyler is trying to convince Nicole to let him tag along to a pool party, she says that he can only come if he makes a cool YouTube video of him doing something crazy. And when he asks, like what, she has him destroy the photo lab. Now, this is one of my most favorite moments in the entire franchise of Class of 09. Nicole is sitting in the counselor's office with the principal, Miss Lynn. Or, not the counselor's office, the principal's office with the principal, Miss Lynn. And Miss Lynn is breaking down on her and letting her know that she's in serious trouble because they all believe that she destroyed the photo lab due to the obvious motive of Jeffrey having exposing photos of her. Now, as she is digging into Nicole, Kyler walks in late to class and is trying to pick up a tardy slip. Now, he sees Nicole and he goes, "Oh, hey, I got the video you wanted," in front of the principal as she is shaking down Nicole for destroying the photo lab. And he shows Nicole and the principal a video of him completely trashing the photo lab. And I think this is hysterical. I mean, there's definitely better moments in the series, but this one is good. Now, that's really all of the main plot points up until the very end of the game, which is at the end of the year. Nicole takes the pedestal at the graduation assembly, and she completely exposes the way the staff and fellow students have treated her while going to this school. She divulges the predatory and perverted nature of this school and explains that 20% of the staff had made a sexual advance during her time at this school, which is absolutely bewildering and fucked up, to put it lightly. Now, I'm just going to hop into the analysis. It's going to be really quick. I don't have a lot to say, but let's do it. So, the Class of 09 video game franchise displays an unfortunately common high school experience for most teenage girls. We see that in the beginning of the next game, Class of 09 The Re-Up, Nicole goes over that it is very common that other girls have described situations where their counselor or gym coach or teachers have hit on them or made some kind of advance completely inappropriate for the teacher-student relationship. And I am very sad to explain that though this was 2007, the sexual harassment in schools is still pretty prevalent to this day. I haven't experienced it myself, at least not from teachers, but it is incredibly depressing that people have to go through that during an educational experience that's supposed to broaden your horizons, for lack of better words. This also shows the commonality and the normalization of self-offing in a high school setting. It's kind of just poked fun at, made fun of, and as multiple people in Nicole's life commit violent acts against either themselves or others, we see the reality of this situation and we can relate it back to real-world tragedies. And it definitely strikes home, at least for me. Now, I just wanted to talk about the reality of bullying and how it is shown in the Class of 09 video game. Though Nicole is quite often the bully and isn't directly targeted by individuals, we can see how the bullying affects other characters such as Jeffrey. And although these characters aren't perfect and definitely have their flaws, it's still incredibly sad to see the reality of bullying and what that entails. Now, I'm not saying I like Jeffrey. I hate this character so much, but I also think it's unfair the way the other characters treat him. Now, I have run out of things to say. I would like to add on and say again that Class of 09 is a great game. It's extremely entertaining, whether you're watching a playthrough online or on YouTube of it, or you're playing it yourself. It's a great game. It's super funny, super well delivered, and though it has a few graphic moments, it's definitely a favorite, and if this video gets some good positive traction, I will definitely go over Class of '09 the re-up and Class of '09 the flip side. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you feel like it. I really don't care that much. Thank you. Bye.